welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be doing my spring TBR. This year I have chosen 10 books for my spring TBR. Usually I go crazy and I pick like 20 or 30 or sometimes even 40 books for a seasonal TBR, but I decided to take it easy on myself and be kind to myself. That has been a big running theme this year in particular. I apparently need to learn to be nice to myself. Like, I'm very kind and I'm kind to everyone else, but I don't know, some people keep saying that I need to be kinder to myself. So this is me attempting to be kind to myself by only picking 10 books for my spring TBR. So I'm gonna go through these 10 books real quick with you. Most of them I do actually have a synopsis for. The ones that I don't, then I will just tell you why I picked it for my spring TBR. So in the springtime, I start getting this travel bug where I just want to hit the road and travel, and it gets really bad for some reason around the springtime, usually like a couple weeks before spring break, which is what we are approaching right now. And usually my hubby and I can go on a road trip or travel a little bit, but we have different spring breaks this year, so sadly we will not be traveling. But a lot of my books are like camping or road trips or travel adventures, because that's when I really start needing or wanting to travel even more than normal. Our first book for my spring TBR is The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. This one I don't know a whole lot about. I know that it came out April of 2021. So I thought it would be really cool to read it in April of 2023. You know, a couple years late. But I believe this follows a small town, like it's kind of a housewifey type of novel, but it brings on the drama, and then I think people get murdered in this small town, in this small neighborhood to be more precise. So that is all that I know about this one, but I am excited to finally get to it. The next book that I picked was Group: How One Therapist in a Circle of Strangers Saved My Life by Christy Tate. This one is just going to be an emotionally charged nonfiction about group therapy. And to be honest with you, I have been wanting to read books that are going to destroy me. And I don't know why I want to read these, but I've been watching TV that is emotionally scarring me, and I've been trying to pick books that are going to emotionally damage me. So this is just added to that list. Then this one is chunky, but I think it'll be really easy to get through. I'm hoping to actually read it in March, at the end of this month. after it turns into spring, but before April comes around. And that book is Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This will hopefully be read in March for middle grade March. But this is like a middle grade fantasy type story about Morgan Crow, who is cursed to die on her 12th birthday. I'm assuming she doesn't die though, and I believe that she gets swooped into this magical school instead. But I'm really excited to just dive into this fantasy world. Then we have They're Watching You by Chelsea Ishixco. Oh, I'm so sorry, I butchered that. This is honestly a young adult thriller. And to be honest with you, I picked a lot of emotionally damaging books and more triggering materials. So usually for me, with young adult thrillers, I can get through them very quick because usually you have to suspend your disbelief for a lot of things. Like, I love Pip from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. There you go. I love the main character in that. But do I roll my eyes and have to suspend my disbelief with a lot of the shenanigans she gets herself into? Of course. Does it really bother me? No. I read for many, many different reasons. That's why I read a little bit of nonfiction, a little bit of fiction. I probably prefer fiction over nonfiction, but I do enjoy nonfiction when I read it, if that makes sense. But one big reason that I read is to be entertained, and even if I have to roll my eyes at how silly young adult thrillers in particular can be, I still really enjoy them. So it says, every secret society has its privileges and its sacrifices. So I think it's about this girl who was in a secret society at her high school when she went missing. And that is really all that I know, but I usually can get through young adult thrillers pretty quickly. Then we have another nonfiction. Now, if I've read most of this book, then I'm going to call it a win, because this one isn't, I don't think that you're supposed to read it from cover to cover like you would a novel. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that, but I am very intrigued by this book and I do want to read it, even if I just like skim different parts or skip sections that don't really apply to me right now. And that book is The Book of Practical Witchcraft, a compendium of spells, rituals, and occult knowledge by Pamela Ball. And I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. But it's fairly short. But like I said, it's not one that I would read from cover to cover. It's just more of like a reference. And I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, there's kind of like a little bit of history of witchcraft, and that's kind of something that I'm really interested in learning. Our last paperback novel is The Last Resort by Marissa Stapley. You can ignore the truth, but it will come for you eventually. Ooh. So this follows 6 different couples who are having marriage problems, and to fix their marriage problems, they go to the last resort, and They're at this resort. It's run by a celebrity couple, Dr. Miles and Grace Markwell. And so it's kind of like they're therapists. They're trying to help these couples bond and not call it quits on their marriage. And then I think something scary happens because I do believe that this is a thriller. Our first hardback novel is a romance. This is The Rehearsals by Annette Christie. If you want to get to forever, they'll have to make it to tomorrow first. So in this, you follow Tom and Megan, who are getting married tomorrow. But today is their rehearsals, and everything goes completely wrong at their rehearsals. That both of them are upset. I think one or both of them wants to call off the wedding tomorrow. So they go to bed angry, and when they wake up, it's the day of the rehearsals again. So it's got that Groundhog Day effect. It's got an already established couple. This is probably going to be a 5-star for me, I'm assuming. And, I mean, just look at the cover. It's springtime. It springs. It screams springtime because of all the flowers. And I like the little clock with the tug-of-war. But, I mean, there's like a sailboat and flowers. And that just springtime completely. Then I have an adult thriller that I got for $3. This is She Lies in Wait by Gaitha Lodge. It says 6 friends, 1 killer. Who do you trust? So this is like a camping story, like 6 teenagers go into the middle of the woods to go camping, but only 5 come out. And I think it's like 20 years later, and Aurora, the youngest girl that was with them, she's the one that died on this trip. Her body was discovered where they were that weekend. Then I have a Book of the Month add-on, which is really good actually, by Monica Heasey. Honestly, the only reason this one is on here is because I want to read it before I turn 30, which is in a month. So it's probably going to be one of my first springtime reads. This and Nevermore. So this one follows this girl named Margaret. I think Maggie. Her name is Maggie. She is really, really down on her luck. I mean, she got divorced. I think she loses her job and she just feels lost and helpless in life. And she's also 29 years old. So that's kind of why I want to read it before I turn 30 so that we can be the same age. I know it's probably silly and it probably doesn't matter at all. But you know what? I'm going with it because I'm just going with what my gut is telling me. And my gut is telling me that this is also going to be another emotionally scarring book. So for some reason, 2023 is the year where I just break down my soul by reading these type of emotional books. I think it's because I'm such a kind soul. And, no, but really, I'm a very sensitive person. So I tend to gravitate toward those types of books and shows and things that are going to make me feel something and cry my little eyes out because I'm a crier too. But I heard it says this is uplifting, laugh out loud funny, and you're going to cry and like sob worthy. So it checks all the boxes for me. And our last book for my spring TBR is, ow, that hurt. Five Survive by Holly Jackson. This is a book that takes place during spring break. It is a road trip book. So there are these 6 friends who are taking this road trip for spring break, and I'm pretty sure everything goes wrong. It's a young adult thriller, and by the title, I'm assuming one of them is going to die. So I don't know what else to expect from it, but I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this thriller. Holly Jackson also wrote a Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, which I read and really liked. So I'm excited to read more of her books. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here.